right, welcome everybody to episode 7 of CreedCast, the Summer Spectacular.
I'm Colin, TK97670.
And I'm Mike, TK5351.
Are we positive this is episode 7?
It is episode 7 now.
Canonically, this is episode 7.
Yes.
Got it.
Episode 5 is a mystery. So we mainly just want to have our mini Summer Spectacular, talk about Solo, talk about some upcoming events, celebration, anything else.
And then we'll get out of your hair.
Okay.
Listeners.
All right, so first Solo. What night did you get to see it premiere night?
I didn't see it premiere night. I had a big long stint of work that period of time, of course. I got to see it that weekend. I went Saturday night, I think it was. I was back home in Hershey, and I went just by myself. I showed up in the theater. I was the only one in there.
Really?
I was the happiest person ever. But it was also weird to me because, wow, this is actually opening weekend for the movie. Why is it so empty?
Yeah.
But I didn't care. I got the good seat, the visual perfect seat, the audio perfect seat. 1 minute before the previews start running, one old dude comes walking in.
Nice.
Not happy about that.
Well, we saw it. I did get to see it opening night. It was crowded. I got a whole bunch of different buckets and all that. And the 501st Garrison Creed was there at Penn Cinema.
Did you go to? Yeah, you went to
Penn Cinema. I didn't troop it. I just went because I wanted tickets and the girls aren't in, so I want to make sure I saw it with them. But we had Chewie was there, R2, 3PO was there, Rebel Cause was there, the charity from Lancaster.
Oh, okay.
And Zoe, they podcast in the lobby. They did like a before, and I think they were playing Sabacc. Zoe got the Sabacc game.
Oh, cool.
So they were playing Sabacc in the lobby. And then we went and saw it. Then we went to Night and Day Diner and then talked all about Solo with us, for a little while. And then we had to go to school. And then we saw it. We trooped Exton Movie Tavern, which I had never been to a movie tavern before. But that was a lot of good guys. We trooped that. That Friday night. It was kind of crowded, but the movie tavern is kind of weird because you go in like a half-hour order early, and then you order your food, and they have little tables, and they bring it out to you.
That sounds cool.
They feed you, it's really nice. So they give us a nice changing room, and we trooped that, and then we watched it then. And I don't think we trooped it that Saturday. But then we trooped the drive-in.
Oh, you did go to the drive-in one?
Becky's drive-in up in Allentown. That was a fun troop because there was a TK. I think we had 2 TKs and a heavy weapons TK, which to the average person would just look like a sand trooper, but he had the pauldron and all. And then we trooped the car line. Like we stood and asked them we asked them to see their identification.
Oh, I like that.
Like when we were trooping, walking both sides. And it was funny because some people were like scrambling to get out there. And we were like, no, you're fine. So then we started asking them if they had rebel spies in the car. And then, kids. So we were handing out cards. We had a squire there, was handing out cards to the kids in the car. So that was fun.
That's cool, yeah. And
then it rained.
That's not so cool.
No, but it was kind of cool to see that mud planet in the rain. While you're sitting.
Oh, you get the 4D experience.
Yeah, it was like poor man's 4D. but the Becky's Theater treated us really nice. They gave us some food. They gave us food and everything, so we got to see the movie and get some food. And then they had better popcorn buckets and toppers than the other movie theater. They had a giant plastic bucket, and then they had the cup toppers with the little figures on top. So I'm like I got it. Down in my movie room, I have to get a shelf just for my Star Wars popcorn buckets now. So I'm getting way too many of them.
Yeah, it sounds a little better than... Because then the rest of my experience was within 5 minutes of the movie start, like the movie proper starting, old man was asleep, snoring like a motorboat.
Oh, that's not good.
I was going crazy. I thought, okay, there's a lot of explosions going on, maybe something will wake him up. Nothing. He's out cold. Gets to a point after the whole first act is over and I couldn't take it anymore, so I turned around and whistled, clapped, woke the guy up and just said straightforward, I'm like, look, this is my first time seeing this. If you came here just to fall asleep in a theater, go home.
At least move to the back.
So that was rough. I had a hard time getting into it then because of that. Because I wasn't focused entirely on the movie. I thought it was a well done movie.
Well, we saw it again last night for Father's Day, and just to make you happy, it was filled.
Really,
like, the theater was filled.
Huh.
So, but it's only showing in like one theater, so I think I think a lot of the theaters had, but everyone liked it. I mean, there's a million theories going out online why it wasn't as crowded. Honestly, one of the big ones I think they changed MoviePass.
That is, I remember the change happening with that. That was a big deal.
Because, like, I remember when we saw Black Panther, we saw it like 8 times. Then right after Black Panther, they changed it. You can only see one movie once. So when you get that bill for seeing a movie 10 times on your credit card statement, you're like, ah. So I wonder if that had something to do with it.
That could be. I find it hard to believe that many people would have.
When we saw.
Or that they would make that big of a change if that many people had MoviePass.
Well, I think of it, though, like, we saw Force Awakens 14 times with MoviePass.
Oh.
So, I've only, thanks to Troops and all, I've only had to pay twice to see Han Solo. So that's 14 times to 2. So, because it used to be, you just, hey, we'll go tonight, we'll go tomorrow night, and you weren't paying anymore.
I think there's a joke here somewhere about addiction.
Maybe. Well, the Solo, though, every time I've watched it so far, I've picked up something different. Like, I've just, we don't want to spoil. I would assume, can we spoil it now?
It's been a while. It's been a
month. It's been a month.
Has it been a month?
It's been close. I think if they're listening to a Star Wars podcast about 501st, they've had to see in Solo. And if they haven't, I think, if you haven't seen it, quit listening.
Yeah, honestly, just flip to something else. Put us on mute. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, no, but just the trooper armor, like, on the planet, I saw more of that, like, because you could look at it more, like, the mud troopers and the guys with those big, like, I think it's supposed to be a radar dish or something on the front of their helmet. It looks like a blast plate, but it's supposed to be an enhanced. Yeah. One of them is Sam Witwer. I forget who the other one is, but he's another, like, person people would know.
I did not know that.
But I liked how they changed Chewie's story.
I liked that evolution of his character and the interaction, the growth between Han and Chewie and how they sort of got to know each other.
And they got rid of the life debt, which I like.
They got rid of the fact that it was spoken. I like to think that it was still kind of... Like, it still seemed like, maybe...
Well, but I took it as they were more, like, friends. Like, I think he owed him when they were in Kessel, and he went with Kessel. He didn't go with his people.
Oh.
But I think that, like, squared him.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? Like,
so from that point on, it was like, we're good, let's be friends.
Right. It seemed like more like a friendship. Where in the old canon, it was like life debt. No matter what, you owe him your life for the rest of your life.
That's kind of dark.
Yeah, well, and it was just written in a different time. So
I liked the Kessel deal. The similar to the way Rogue One addressed the whole plot hole of the Death Star.
Yeah.
The one little hole that could blow the whole thing up. I'm starting to get the feeling, though, that all these side canon story movies are just fixing original trilogy plot holes.
Yes.
You're starting to, like, the Kessel Run, the 12 parsecs deal, they actually made the whole fact that it's distance work.
Right.
It does. Right. It does now, make sense, kind of.
Well, and the other thing they made, which I thought was kind of cool, was in the old canon. I don't know if it was in a role-playing book or a EU book or something, whatever they're called now, Legends book. But it used to be that the Millennium Falcon had 2 R2 units built into it.
Oh, yeah.
And they hated each other. And they were always sabotaging. So at least now they changed that it just has, L2.
What is it? Not politically correct droid, but like...
The activist droid.
Droid lives matter.
Yeah,
the activist droid, I guess that would be.
Well, and that's what George Lucas put the droid detector in Mos Eisley as an homage, or whatever you want to call it, to the civil rights movement.
Oh, no.
That was one of his, like, it wasn't really a subplot, it was more of like a just to point out, you know.
I do remember him being an incredibly political director. And every aspect of the Harry Small trilogy being incredibly political.
So that was kind of cool that kind of came back too. Well, Ron Howard would have known him when he was, you know, because he did American Graffiti. So he probably knows George Lucas's thought process more, like right when New Hope was made, than anyone. Because, I'm sure they don't hang out all the time. So the George Lucas he knows is the George Lucas from the early 70s.
That could be, yeah.
But I like that. I like what they did. I like the train robbery. Like that was a good.
That was a really cool sequence, but again, that whole sequence I had to fight through old man snoring to like try and pay attention. Yeah. It was so hard for me. I was so into it. I'm like, oh my god, this is blowing my mind. And look at those cool stormtroopers with the magnetic boots.
I know. Like, I was surprised no one's jumped on one of those and done it.
Yeah,
because it looks like a modge-podge of just like it looks like it's does, yeah. Like an Imperial officer.
Looks incredibly worn. Oh, warm.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
I guess the boots would be the hardest thing.
The big fuzzy collar too. Around them. I like the way they look though.
Yeah, they're called Rangers, I believe.
Range troopers, maybe. Yeah.
And well, I noticed that Beckett's girlfriend, I forget her name, she had a clone blaster hanging right here. Like a pistol hanging around her neck, which was pretty cool too.
Oh, I see. That was a detail that.
Well, that's what I mean. Like a lot of those details when I was watching it, and like even when they were in the walking through the trenches, it had that almost like World War I feel.
Oh, I liked that. I kind of liked. It pissed me off that there was like, kind of made the Empire look like real jerks, but like what are we fighting against? Nobody really.
And well, in the cutscenes, I think in the cutscenes they have the actual people they were fighting, because you only really saw the one that Beckett shot at the beginning. So, and it was cool how Han got his gun. Like I thought that was kind of cool.
Yeah.
Like it was almost like the same way he gave Rey a gun.
I find it really hard. I that's poetic. I didn't think of it that way. I like that. I find it really hard to believe that he held on to the same blaster for the. However many years he was, not to mention the whole movie, but the fact that he was a smuggler for a significant amount of time in that period, like between then and A New Hope. If Luke can't hold on to one lightsaber, one of the last known lightsabers in existence, like for more than 3 years, how on earth am I supposed to believe that Han held on to just a regular blaster for that long?
Well, but you wonder if since he didn't have powers, that's what he had to rely on. Because in the old canon, his blaster was supposed to be modified, like beyond, like his was supposed to be illegal to carry. In the old canon, like that pistol was okay, but his was supposed to be, I like Chewie's gun too. That heavy rifle he had.
Oh yeah.
So, and then Chewie's double pack or double bandolier.
I kind of liked it. Made him look a little bit more hardcore, less going on a mission, like a happy messenger bag Wookiee, more like I'm going to war Wookiee kind of deal.
Yeah, well, when he smashed pile drive that one dude, that was pretty painful.
Maybe ripping that one dude's arms off
was good too.
I get the homage there, but like,
well, it was everything you feared about Chewie but never saw. Like, because they always made Chewie like everyone should be afraid of a Wookiee, but he never did anything.
That's true.
I don't even think he shot a gun in the first movie.
No.
I don't think he even fired a gun.
I thought he fired his bowcaster.
Not in the first movie.
Really?
Because in the first movie he didn't have his bowcaster.
Huh.
Because remember they took him in as a prisoner. And he just had the E11.
Yeah, you're right.
Or he had the heavy rifle, but I don't think he ever fired it.
Huh.
I know he didn't fire his bowcaster until, I don't know for a fact, but I'm pretty sure he didn't fire it until Empire. Or no, until Jedi. On Endor.
Oh, okay. I'll have to fact check that because I plan on rewatching that.
In Empire, he was using an E11 as well, that they took from the Stormtroopers.
Huh. Yeah, I'll have to pay attention to that. Maybe, perhaps.
If you ever carried Marty's bowcaster, you'd realize why they probably didn't have him carry that. The thing's heavy.
Yeah, right.
I'm trying to think what else stood out in that movie. Well, the ship, I thought the way they trashed the ship was pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought that was really cool.
And the living thing in space, like a lot of my friends that aren't Star Wars fans didn't get it, but I was like, you saw it in Empire, the space slug. You saw it in, if you watched Clone Wars, they had those.
The big whale things, right?
Well, they had the whale things in the Purgle, in Rebels.
Yeah.
But then they have the other big, they had some other, like, manta-looking things.
Oh, yeah, the, giant something gas, they called them, like, gas guzzlers or something like that.
Yeah, they had.
For fun or whatever.
Because they flew through them to get to the
Malevolence, yeah.
So that's kind of cool that they kept that.
Yeah. I liked its design, but I also got a kick out of the fact that, like, its skin got ripped off into a black hole, and then there was just this, like, giant space octopus skeleton up there floating around.
What reminded me of those deep sea creatures you see.
Oh, yeah, those real weirdos down in the Twilight Zone and under.
Yeah, so I thought that was kind of cool.
Yeah. And then, of course, the whole mall deal.
Yeah, that surprised me. I didn't know that.
I'm being honest, the whole movie, I liked the movie. I thought it was objectively a well put together movie. I don't know why I just wasn't, like...
It's not your thing?
It wasn't hooking me. And it didn't... It was one of those deals where, like, it had everything I wanted. I just wasn't feeling it. Maybe I'm shallow. Does that make me shallow? I don't know.
You have to leave. No, it's just...
No. But I don't know. But when I got to the end there, I was like, okay... Now we're bringing in the rest of the universe. Now I've got some context. Because I'm a big fan of that. I love the Marvel product where it's all, everything, every movie is connected, leads into the next one.
Right.
Where you cannot watch each consecutive movie without having known the previous. I like that sort of longevity, I enjoy that in movies. And that sort of picked Solo up for me was when it put it in context of the rest of what I had known to happen in Clone Wars, and even in some of the comics I didn't get in some of the books I haven't had a whole lot of Maul as he was in charge of the Syndicate yet, but
yeah, I think the only book, The Son of Dathomir, is a graphic novel that was supposed to be Clone Wars episodes. I probably have that somewhere. That one is pretty good.
They mentioned it briefly in the Ahsoka novel,
right? And then he so
whereas he was kicked out of Mandalore. Maybe he was still in charge of the crime syndicate by that point. I don't know.
He somehow lost. I think the battle, whatever. He got booted out. That was a while ago when I read that. But yeah, I think for me, so many things were. It's just like the Clone Wars even though people don't like the cartoon, when that first cartoon movie came out for the first 2 episodes, it was in the theaters. Mm-hmm. The Clone Wars, that whole sentence of Obi-Wan Kenobi and Luke in the Clone Wars, I had like 30 years of just thinking, what's the Clone Wars? What's the Clone Wars? Mm-hmm. And even in the new movies, they didn't really give you it. It gave you a little bit of the beginning and a little bit of the end.
Yeah.
And so that was cool. And I think with Han, it was kind of the same way. So many of those, like, when Han says to C-3PO, well, a droid doesn't rip your arms out of your sockets. Mm-hmm. Or, like, you just, all those little, like, the Kessel Run. Like, as a kid, it turned in my head that was for 40 years. Mm-hmm. So when you see him come to life.
I liked those details. Part of what didn't grab me on the bigger scope was making his, like, grand motivation, what set him off on his path to being a smuggler was just, being in love with some other woman. I thought that was incredibly two-dimensional. And kind of, I thought that took away from, in the original trilogy, he was sort of like, he was smuggler turned hero. Now he's hero turned smuggler turned hero. So now we've just brought him back to zero.
Well, I wonder, I was wondering when I first got into it, I was like, there's no way they'll be able to make a sequel. So I wonder if this is like the flip of that coin. So like them leaving is like is the middle of a story. Mm. And then he has to get jaded somehow. Mm-hmm. So I wonder, like, it's kind of like watching Infinity War and getting mad about all the terrible things that happen, but you have to see the second one before you can really give that full opinion of the first.
Yeah. Well, wait, they're doing a sequel specifically to Solo?
No, I don't know that, but they almost have to because of where they left off. They're still 10 years out, from New Hope.
I don't think they do that. I think they just have him, unspoken smuggling that he did. All those grifting deals that he did in the whole space frontier or whatever. I don't know.
My picture is he has a 3-picture deal. So either they'll do a Lando and he'll be, the Lando to his, like Lando was to him, he'll be that. Or they'll do the Lando like that and they'll do another Solo. It just seems like they invested so much into this guy being Solo that it'd kind of a waste. Because you got a small window. You know what I mean? They got a small window.
Yeah, I guess. I could see them sticking him into other, cameos elsewhere, maybe. Or even incorporating his character into other, spin-off cartoons or something. But
yeah.
Designed as the actor instead of as Harrison Ford Solo.
I still just think we need to see him drop his cargo and why he's a wanted man. Because they planted those seeds, like Beckett said. It's hard to live with a price on your... So it's almost like... Because they haven't brought him in...
That's true. I guess he didn't... At the end of the movie, he really didn't have a price on his head, did he?
No, and he was still upbeat and just, wanted to do... he was kind of over the girl, kind of just...
I imagine they could throw something like that into the comics. They've been giving him a lot of screen times in the comics as he's been growing as a rebel general. Mm-hmm. Maybe they'll throw in him or maybe they'll do, because Marvel's been doing a lot of those one shots of different Jedi. I think there was a one-shot Mace Windu comic even.
Yeah.
Or a couple. They have a Poe Dameron, a Kanan, a couple of issues for Kanan. Maybe they'll do a middle years Han Solo, where they'll cover that. I think that would be the cheaper idea for Disney to do instead of investing in another movie with him. I just
think that it just seems like they have the heavy lifting done, getting him accepted as Solo.
Yeah, you're right. They still they shouldn't have put that much effort in unless they were going to go somewhere else with him too.
Because even with the Rogue One, they didn't really spend tons of time on the characters. It was just here they are, and with Han Solo, they because they didn't even have to spend that much time on him. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know. I just think they'll.
Maybe they'll bring him if they do a Boba Fett one shot.
Yeah,
maybe they'll bring him into that.
Well, that's supposed to film in 2020. Start filming.
I just hope they make his armor look cool. We haven't seen. They keep modernizing Stormtrooper armor. They keep modernizing a lot of the Rebel costumes. I hope maybe we get a more badass looking Mandalorian.
It just depends when it takes place.
Yeah.
So if it takes place, that's where I think you could do it in that same era with the Millennium Falcon and when you have the stuff already there.
Yeah.
I don't know.
As he's establishing himself as the world's coolest bounty hunter or whatever.
Because you're never really told that Boba Fett is Han Solo's enemy. You're more told that Han Solo knows who Boba Fett is.
Yeah.
I think some people think it's more like a rivalry, but I wonder if he's flying for Jabba, if he just accidentally witnessed what Boba Fett does. So...
Mm-hmm. That'd be cool. I'd enjoy that. Yeah. I would enjoy them sticking young Solo into another movie if it were in that context.
Yeah.
Maybe.
But like I said, you still got to see him drop his cargo. I still think that's one of those. Just like the Kessel Run was one, you got to figure out why he dropped his cargo and ran, because that's in the New Hope, and he says it to Greedo and and
a re-edited Jabba.
Yeah, and a re-edited Jabba. So, all right. So that's our Solo. What else? I think that was pretty much it for Solo.
Unless we really want to get into Maul. Maul was there.
The Maul was good.
Yeah. Except for when I had to explain to all those people why Maul was actually able to be there and the timeline worked.
Well, you gotta get your podcaster. They have to listen to Faux Authentic History. They did a crime syndicate one, and that's a good one.
Well, what the real kicker was, the same friend in the same phone conversation is like, after I had gone through basically Maul's truncated Clone Wars history,
Right.
I got to the he's like, wow, okay, I didn't know all that. That was really cool. Man, wouldn't it be cool if Maul got his own movie where they like showed how he died? And I said, buddy, so there's this other series called Star Wars Rebels. And he's like, oh my god, are you kidding me? How can Disney expect me to have watched all this content?
Yeah, it's almost like they're going to have to put in the previews. Please watch this, and this to make sure you understand. But see, that's what's nice, though, is now, because, and that's what people have to get used to. Before Disney took over, you didn't know what to read and what to do, because some counted, some didn't. Some counted this week, but didn't count.
Yeah.
So now, if you pick up anything with Star Wars, it's going to fit in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah, there's going to be continuity, because they got, 5 or 6 people at Lucasfilm paying attention to that sort of thing,
Yep.
and then at Disney fact-checking the Lucasfilm's work.
Right, so that's, I mean, that I think, that I appreciate. If I'm going to spend $20 on a book, I don't have to worry that it's going to contradict something.
Yeah.
The Funko Pop box, though, spoiled the movie for me, because the Solo Funko subscription box came, and it was Han Solo chained in the ankle with Chewie.
Oh,
I opened that up, I'm like, oh, okay, now I know how they met.
Oh, no.
So I got that, I think I got the Tuesday before the movie came out. So.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah. It's not even displayed. I was so angry.
Say, I'm trying to look around the room here.
I put it in the box and stuck in the basement for now on, because I was just so angry that it spoiled it for me.
Oh man, you probably were going out of your way to avoid spoilers for that one too, weren't you?
Oh yeah. I just didn't. I didn't. I was even trying to avoid. I wished I wouldn't have seen the scene when Chewie announced how old he was.
Oh yeah.
Because I saw that on because I thought it was just the same trailer. So I'm like, oh, and then I was like, oh man, that would have just been so fun to see on the screen.
Yeah.
I know.
I liked that part. I thought that was really funny.
Yeah.
And also how it justified Lucas sticking Chewie at the end of Revenge of the Sith there on Kashyyyk.
Well, they did. I know Marty and Dan went down to DC, and someone had built a full cockpit.
Oh yeah.
And they did a whole bunch of pictures. So anyone listening, go check out Marty or Dan's feed, and they have pictures of them in the Chewie and C-3PO, and then there's a guy dressed as Han and a lady dressed as Leia, all in the full-size cockpit. So cool. I want one of those cardboard cockpits.
Are you gonna try and sneak into? Did they have one? Did they have one at Penn Cinema?
Yeah, I got tons of pictures of me sitting in it.
Gonna go talk to them about getting that off their hands. I mean, what are they gonna do with it, right? Or...
Yeah, there's a million people asking for that. I would just like to have it for a weekend, just do stencils of it. Just lay it out, lay paper on it,
I guess
just trace it.
Yeah.
But.
Yeah, does that cut it for Han Solo, I guess?
Yeah, I guess. I mean, I thought they did his costumes well enough that he looked like they were Han Solo, but you understood his style, so when you see him next...
I think his character meshed, him as an actor meshed well with the character. I was still having a really hard time seeing Donald Glover as Lando. I thought he acted the part well. I just personally couldn't see through his lame stand-up act.
See, I haven't seen
the fact that he's also Childish Gambino. Spoiler alert to anybody who didn't know, Donald Glover is Childish Gambino. I know him from too many other things to not.
See, I only knew him from Community.
Yeah, that too.
And so and I heard years ago that they were talking about him as Lando just as a joke. Because they were talking about him as either Spider-Man or Lando years ago. Mm-hmm. And just so in my mind that the Lando seed was planted, And I never, as a kid, I hated Lando. Because when I was a kid, I saw Empire. He got Han froze.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even play with Lando action figures until Jedi came out. Because I was so angry because I didn't know Han was coming back. Because we didn't have the internet
the context
to look up
a little
stuff.
Different for you.
Oh man, I was so angry. I didn't want a Lando figure. I was just mad that he froze Han.
Yeah, and then Daenerys Targaryen as Kira was hard for me to get through.
That was probably the harder of them all. Because I thought the guy being Han was going to be the hardest for me, and I thought he just went seamlessly, just went in as Han.
Yeah. Maybe they could have done his hair a little differently. It looked too scraggly. It was more out, not enough up. I don't know. I'm no expert.
Yeah, I think it was supposed to be that like 7. I think they like backward dated it. I think they looked at if the hairstyles of 1975 was Han Solo, or 76 when they filmed, what did they look like? Late 60s.
Then. Gotcha.
And
yeah, I guess that would make sense.
And I think let's just try to use that for the continuity. That's the way I took it in my mind.
Fair enough. I can take
And so it looked like almost like that late Beatles, like right before people either went real short or real long in the 70s. That was my 2 cents on that.
But Kira didn't have enough going on for her as an individual character, like to warrant me seeing her as a character instead of Daenerys Targaryen.
Yeah, I was fascinated by the Mandalorian armor in that one room.
All that, the crystal skull too.
Yeah,
you know?
and all that stuff sitting around. So I was, I like that. What's his name? Vision was the villain. The guy that plays Vision.
Yeah, Paul Bettany.
Yeah, that was kind of cool because he was supposed to be CGI at first. He was supposed to be a CGI character.
Oh yeah.
And then I
didn't know that.
In the first, before Ron Howard took over. And I don't know why they changed it, but
because Paul Bettany doesn't look that bad. We can't.
Yeah.
he's not like Andy Serkis where he should mostly be.
Yeah.
CGI'd. Not shooting down Andy Serkis. Love the guy. I would cast him to play anything if I were a writer. But
yeah, well, and they did bang that film out pretty quick. But I don't see. Like I said, I think Wally's working on one of the Mud Stormtroopers.
Oh yeah,
and like a Beckett costume wouldn't be bad. I would, because he has like the double Han Solo holster, and he has that weird knife looking thing.
They all had like the same belt.
Yeah, I wonder if it was like a discount on Smugglers R Us.
Yeah, they just got they ordered one, but were shipped in bulk. Cheaper to buy Han Solo belts in bulk or something.
But I was also wondering if that was almost like they was trying to invoke that Wild West. The movie Wild West type holsters, like the Lone Ranger. And
well, I was talking specifically about the belt buckle. Everybody had the same metal hexagonal belt buckle thing going on. But no, you're right. Absolutely, it was kind of a gunslinger look that they were all kind of going for.
Yeah. And then, so that's all we have on Solo. I guess we could probably make like two Solo shows.
Keep going on, but.
Yeah,
we got to cut it off at some point.
Yeah, we can come back to it. We'll episode 5 is our hidden Solo show.
When we find out why he dropped the cargo.
Right. And then the other big thing that happened besides events and trooping was Celebration was announced.
Yeah, Celebration was announced. That was announced a while ago, but tickets just recently went on sale. That was part of the big deal.
Well, so the day they announced it, I booked my hotel. I didn't work. And then the day the tickets came out, last time it was weeks before they ran out. So I'm just gonna wait till Friday when I sit at home and buy it. And I was like, for some reason, that second day they came out, I'm like, I better order my tickets now. And then like 2 days later, they sold out of the 5-day.
I didn't know that they took so long last year. I had no frame of reference. I just thought, okay, this is going to be like a Comic-Con deal where all the good tickets are going to go away ASAP. So I, blocked out I knew they went on sale at noon, or I guess it was 1 because it was noon Chicago time.
Right.
So I blocked out that time and just made sure that I was good to go. I waited in the queue when it switched over and was able to get the 5-day passes right off the gate. I had booked my Airbnb a little bit before then though, just to make sure I would get a better rate.
Yeah, I got a good rate at the Hyatt, and then the 501st block's still not open, as of whatever today, the day after Father's Day. What is today? 18th. But they'll have the bash. So you were never at a bash.
I was never at a bash. I'm looking forward to that.
So I would recommend those. I don't know when the bash tickets go on, but we got like a swag bag here. I'm gonna step away from Mike for people that can't see. But we got like.
Hey, your bye BB-8 Pez.
My BB-8 pop.
Yeah, you got the blue milk carton.
Yeah, the blue milk carton was one of them.
That looks like it's a piggy bank.
Yeah, I don't know what it was built for. I also we got
a drawstring bag.
And And then there was all kinds of goodies in it.
Yeah.
There was a mask. There was masks of the different characters. There was, I think, some pins and patches and stuff like that. Some stuff from Rancho Obi-Wan or something. It was pretty neat. It was like a little swag bag.
Yeah.
So
I'd love to get in on that.
Yeah. So as soon as the tickets go up.
I'll get in on that.
And those that are listening, you don't have to just be members. I think you have to be 18, because it's like there's bar. It's not open bar, but I think we got I think there was I can't remember if there was a drink pass in there or not. Like you got one pass for a drink or something like that. Mm-hmm. But so you have to be 18 or 21 or whatever the drinking age is to go.
Oh, that's fine.
Yeah. So, yeah. And then last time they had giant balloon sculpture of bantha, like a life-size bantha.
A life-size bantha.
With sand trooper or sand person on top.
Huh.
And they had Star Wars VR playing out front.
Ooh. And
then they had Weird Al was playing. And then they had all the Steve Sansweet of Rancho Obi-Wan brought all the vintage Star Wars games. You can just sit and play them all. Mm-hmm. From like the 70s up to the most modern ones.
Yeah, it sounds like a fun time.
And then Dan was dressed in his MC3PO.
MC3PO he had the full arm, but the rest of it was the golden T-shirt and the golden hat. And
yeah.
I liked that. That was clever.
And a bunch of guys went as smugglers and stuff like that. Like Marty was a smuggler. I think Toga was dressed up as like a smuggler. They had like a smuggler theme going on. So once they figure out the theme. So if you're a 501st member, go to the 501st boards and see if they're asking for ideas for themes. I don't know how far along they are. Go to the big boards.
And suggest cool themes. Because I want to dress up and have a fun time.
That's where the Canto Bite, which I know people are, as soon as they hear that, they're going to turn it off. But the Canto Bite, you can do that space tux.
Yeah, get all dressed up, but like kind of a cartoony dressed up.
Yeah.
Or everybody would just wear that white suit with the Stormtrooper helmets all over it. That would probably be a very common thing. They
did. I think they had. Yeah, I think they're looking for a space to have it, because it was crowded last time. Like it was a lot of people, and it was in the Hyatt last time in one of the giant ballrooms, and they had the whole hallway like roped off, so you didn't have to be stuck in the room. You could go out into the.
Oh, I see.
They'll do a patch trader probably. Mm-hmm. So, I know last year, Karita did a run of patches, and then you just took a bunch. So I think I bought like 20, and then you just trade them with people.
Oh,
so, trade them with patch.
Yeah, I guess I should probably try that, huh?
If you're in the patches, it's a.
Yeah, that involves spending money. I think I'd more likely just want to trade.
Maybe we need a Karita. We need a Karita cast patch.
There you go. Or at least Karita cast trading cards.
Yeah, that would be. We could just do one with just our logo with the microphone and the helmet.
Yeah.
Just do a card.
Or we could go do some crazy professional photo shoot on like the edge of a cliff or something.
That's true. Marty will go back there, I bet.
Oh, I bet.
We just need a sitting there with a what looks like a mixing board, doing the cast in our armor.
Out in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah. So the celebration, it's too late to buy tickets now, I would imagine.
Are all of them sold out? I think there's still some kids
single
tickets.
Days, kids tickets. The tickets themselves are like collectibles too. Like
because they have the specific artwork on them, right?
Yeah, so like that's.
Yeah.
They didn't have 5-day because they were only 4-day.
I remember that. I was actually really scared when I first logged onto the website because it still hadn't actually, when you clicked on like buy tickets, because the link was active, but it sent you to last year's portal. Right. So I'm like, wait, why are there only 4-day tickets available? Why are they more expensive than this year's? And why are they already sold out? They're not on sale yet. What's going on? I was having a mini panic attack. And then I'm like, wait, okay. Florida. This says Orlando.
Florida.
This can't be right. Okay, got it.
I'm curious. The I don't know what else sold out. I'm looking it up right now.
I made sure I didn't want to miss it. Oh, nope. You got the little no internet dinosaur. Good thing this isn't a live podcast.
Right.
Everybody would be nobody would be able to listen.
Right. Well, you know, we could do a call-in show someday. Because this is my Skype number.
Not if there's no Wi-Fi.
Well, I know, but we have Wi-Fi now. It's just this computer was sleeping. Yeah, they'll probably, like, I don't know how they're going to set it up, but apparently this is a much nicer setup than Orlando. I mean, but they say that all the time. Mm. Like, when it's at Orlando, it was supposed to be a nice setup,
Yeah, 296 days away, and 2 hours and 31 minutes and 25, 24, 23, 22, 21 seconds.
Let me see.
I was going to say, you see people you know.
I do see some. I see some, unfortunately, that I know.
I'm trying to think of ways, too, to, like, spruce up my armor for the days that the day that I do wear my armor, so that I'll be able to pick myself out. Or more importantly, my girlfriend will be able to pick me out in a crowd.
Yeah, she better learn that, or she could wind up saying something that could hurt someone's feelings.
Yeah.
Well, it looks like, honestly, as of right now, the only thing sold out is the 5-day.
Oh, no kidding.
So
Thursday's still up. Saturday
is sold out. And kids' 5-day is sold out. Is Thursday sold out? No.
That's a good price for a kid's 1-day ticket. Do kids could I buy that? Do you think kids at heart count?
Yeah. Well, no.
I argue that there are a lot of Star Wars fans that are kids at heart and could very well cash in on that discount.
Yeah, I don't think that's good. That would be pretty much all of us. Then it'll just be like Disney, where kids are from 2 and up. I mean, adults are from 2 and up or something like that.
Yeah.
But let's see. See if they have.
I'm excited to see who all's gonna be there and what sort of. Do you think they'll be? What movie do you think they'll be promoting at that point? Do you think they'll be promoting
episode 9? That'll definitely be because episode 9 will be the. Is episode 9 being released in the winter?
Because no, I don't think there's one this December. That's why.
No, not this December, but is it the following December?
Yeah, I think it's the following December.
So yeah, it'll definitely be. And then they might even, if they're filming Boba Fett, they might even have like not necessarily news other than like the director and stuff like that. Let me see.
But that would be cool.
Yeah. So
Ooh, it just occurred to me that if we do get a Boba Fett, we could actually potentially get some Ewan McGregor Obi-Wan in there.
Right.
Oh, that's a thought.
Yeah.
I would enjoy that.
Well, and there is rumors that they're going to have an Obi-Wan movie too. See, I still wonder. I still think some of us are thinking too small because they're going to launch that Disney TV show, or Disney TV channel, and they're going to have to fill it because they're going to have like a Star Wars section.
Yeah. And
so then when we think of movies now, we think of movies on the movie theater, but should we be thinking of 3 or 4 part miniseries?
I was gonna say, oh God, no, not straight to TV movies. No, we cannot have the iCarly of Star Wars. Please, God,
but
no.
I mean, it could potentially be where it goes. All
right, now I'm turning into one of those grumbly fans. No, okay, all right. I'll move on.
Because they have to fill that. They have the live action TV show already planned. With the
one for Netflix.
Yeah, well, it's not. I think it's going to go straight to their platform. It's that's my guess.
I'm curious about that. The new one, Star Wars Resistance. I think it is.
Yeah, the cartoon.
I'm excited to see some of the story, but. From the 1 or 2 images that were released in those news articles, I'm skeptical of the actual animation itself because I've seen shows that are animated in what look like the same way as that one's going to be.
Right.
And it's like a clunky new animation that is still not, in my opinion, perfected yet. So it's either done really well or done really uncomfortable to watch.
Well, if Lucasfilm,
I imagine that they'd have some quality control on that. Yeah, it'd be good.
If Lucasfilm does it, they're going to be probably better than the average one.
I mean, I'm excited to see it with like they're saying it's supposed to be almost anime style, or at least like almost pseudo Japanese.
Well, I heard it was also like they said for the because I don't know animation. For the non-animated person, it'd be similar to Voltron on Netflix.
Yeah,
that type. So I don't know if that's considered good or bad.
I would actually really enjoy that because you can do a lot with that kind of animation.
Right.
Which is why I'm hoping that it's that kind of animation, rather than what I'm afraid it's going to be, where it's all done in like 3D engines and it's all blocky and.
Yeah, I don't know if they'll do that because that would be a step back
weird.
from what they did Clone Wars and Rebels at.
Yeah.
Like I would think they would go, you know. But yeah, I was looking to see if they had podcast stage. They don't have anything announced for that. So I would recommend those that listen to our podcast. I don't know if we'll be on the podcast stage, but the podcast stage is definitely one to do. They'll have the Star Wars show. I'm sure we'll have a stage. And that's if you want to like hang out the old MTV style and stand in the audience and watch the show. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that'd be kind of cool.
And it's funny the costumes that stood out like Hip Hop Trooper was there.
Oh yeah.
There was a guy dressed as a giant lightsaber.
Oh, I think I saw that one.
Which was cool because he was everywhere he went. People wanted pictures with it. Like there was people with like super great, awesome costumes, and they wanted pictures with him. There was the I got a couple pictures of the Overwatch people dressed in Star Wars-esque.
Oh yeah.
Like it was like so the girl from Overwatch, I forget her name, Tracer, but she was dressed like a Rebel pilot, but with Tracer, all this stuff. You know.
Yeah, I've been trying to come up with something creative to do rather than just do standard TK the whole time. Obviously, I'd like to take part in the running of the hoods. I saw that I saw that videos running of that last year. Save the ice cream. I gotta get how much do you think those 70s ice cream makers go for?
Well, there's probably hard to find. You have to hit thrift shops.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
But there are guys that do casts, and then some people just modify a 5-gallon bucket and get the top piece, you know. Yeah. So just modify it, just because I know that it's supposed to be a computer core.
Yeah.
And the toy actually had like a Rebel logo on it.
Yeah, on the bottom of
it. But you could I've seen 5-gallon bucket ones that look just as good.
I'm tempted to do that, but with my trooper bucket on. Stormtrooper hood.
Yeah, it's almost like because when Safi went, she was the only Ketsu at all celebration. We didn't find a single one. People came and got a picture with her. You know, she was like the only Ketsu. So it's almost like you want to. I mean, it depends on what you want to do. I'm just taking girls' costumes in some way, shape, or form, but I'm not gonna unless somehow I figure out a way to take it on the plane. I'm not taking a costume. Like they'll probably like Marty's doing Chewie, he'll probably have his whole new Chewie for Solo done with the new hair on the face. So if by some chance I fell into a Beckett, because I'm that old, I could just grow my hair out a little bit. I could do a Beckett, which would be neat, because that's like I think it looks like almost all Army surplus. Most of his stuff. It doesn't. Yeah. It doesn't even look like it was costumed. It looks like they probably just went to an Army surplus store and bought. I do like those Mud Troopers. Not the one Han wore, but the ones with that big whatever.
Yeah.
Enfys. The girl.
Oh yeah.
Safi wants that. So there's a 3D file for that helmet. So I might print that.
And my girlfriend and I have been throwing around a couple costume ideas just to stand out. She's interested in cosplay, but I hope the listeners don't kill me, but I actually got to get her through the movies. I know it's quite a commitment to commit to Star Wars Celebration without having actually seen all the movies.
You can do her Phasma.
She'd be a really short Phasma.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah. Well, she could do a short. She could do a Han, and you could do just a normal height Chewie.
Normal height Chewie. I'd be the shortest Chewie on the floor. Nobody would be able to see me.
You'd be nice and comfortable. Just walking around
I don't have any stilts on.
Yeah, just walk around as Chewie.
We're thinking of a take, maybe a more modern artistic take on the Jabba Leia deal.
Okay.
But like reversed, so she'd be Jabba and I'd be Leia. Just to really,
traumatize people?
Yeah, to traumatize people. Take a swing at going viral. Maybe just like for half an hour, one day of the show, see how it goes, and then leave,
You could do... Well, you could do... yeah, I was going to say she could do L3, but L3's tall. Because there was a girl that did L3 for the premiere. The costume just wore it and wore a black suit underneath. It looked pretty good.
Yeah, maybe.
You could do a Jawa at 4 foot.
Oh yeah, she'd make her
do a Tusken.
She'd make a really good Jawa.
Yeah, I'm biased towards the children Jawas. I like how they move. I think they have the...
They look a little bouncier, right? It's just
they have the
child
they have
energy.
Like jerkier, like their heads move faster and their arm, they got the little hand action. Yeah, you have to. That's people should send in what you should do. Come on.
Yeah, there you go, listeners. If you got a creative couple Star Wars costume ideas, let us know.
You gotta do a mashup.
Or yeah,
you gotta figure out what's coming out. You gotta look at what's coming out at that time and do a mashup. Is she in the Legion yet?
No, she's not in the Legion yet.
Get her a Tusken. Do a nice Tusken. Get her in.
Again, we got to get through the movies first.
Yeah.
That's the first step. For all I know, she might not actually enjoy all of them.
How many have she seen?
I'm not entirely sure. She's been kind of vague on which ones specifically she has seen.
Okay, yeah, you got to work on that.
So that's problem
number 1. That's our next guest on the show. Ahsoka. She could do Ahsoka. She could do Sabine's mom. Bo-Katan. That's an easy one.
Oh, she would probably
too.
Enjoy that one. Yeah.
Because Bo-Katan, except for the jetpack and the bucket, possibly the leg plates, we can make all the other plates. I actually have the file for her gauntlets. And I have the file for her pistols.
Oh, no kidding.
So the bucket and the Bo-Katan buckets, there's a lot of people making that. The jetpack you could probably make too.
I don't know if I could get her that far into the EU though.
You don't have to. That's Clone Wars.
Well, I know. That's what I'm saying. Is the first hurdle is still the primary.
Even Rebels, the Rebel costume is more wearable than that.
Yeah.
Because it's more like a Sabine costume, and the Sabine's an easy wear too.
Yeah.
I can build a Sabine for it too.
I could maybe have them playing.
Zuckuss? Scooter has a Zuckuss. Have you seen Scooter's Zuckuss?
No, I haven't seen Scooter's Zuckuss. Or maybe I have. I've seen like the trading cards or whatever.
Yeah, Scooter has a good Zuckuss. And that would be height-wise, that would work out.
Oh, man. Oh, Christ. She'd get a kick out of that.
You could do Zuckuss and the guy with all the bandages.
Yeah, his name... holy crap, wow.
I know, my name...
Why am I blanking on this now? Good lord, it's been a long...
Dengar.
Dengar.
You can do Dengar.
Even though in the Clone Wars they pronounced it Dengar, it's just weird. It's one word, Dengar.
Yeah,
that's
you can do him.
It's like mostly snowtrooper armor, and then...
Yeah, and then wrapped around his head and a scarred face.
Yeah.
But you can do him, and she can do Zuckuss. Because Zuckuss is basically just that brown robe with some... And then the head sculpt.
And the head sculpt. Or I could skyrocket past everybody else trying to be CRL Bosk for PA.
There you go. Do we have a Bosk yet?
We don't have a Bosk, but I know there are a couple of people that are like working on it.
I think Don's working on it, and I think Craig is working on it.
Maybe, yeah. I don't remember. I just remember there was like 2 or 3 people competing to be the first Bosk.
But Bosk always seems to be that... Every so often... People start, and then like 2 years later, 75% done Bosk. for sale. And then, you know what I mean? Like, I bet you there's like 4 Bosk suits that have just passed around the East Coast.
Yeah, nobody's actually created a new one. They've just been passing the same one.
Yeah, Bosk would be good. The only thing that makes Bosk seem to be difficult is you don't use your own hands. You have those long arm extensions. And so you're kind of limited.
Well, that could be fun. You get those like children's toy grabber extenders or whatever, or like they have those like fake skeleton hands around Halloween.
That's
you just
true.
put a plastic
because he only has
it.
what, like 2 fingers.
He's got 2. I think he does like the 3 thing. He's got a thumb, but then 2 big pointy lizard fingers. I guess closer to a chameleon.
They'd be an easy. I think the hard part of that is the actual cloth part.
Getting the color right on all that. That's another thing that's tripped a lot of people up.
But then you see that's where there's really 2 color schemes now, because there's the Clone Wars one, and there's the movie one. So you can do either one, which the Clone Wars is probably easier.
It's a lighter color too, I think.
You could do. Who's the pirate from? Hondo.
I would love to do Hondo. I like the Clone Wars. I could consider. Oh, I like Clone Wars Hondo too.
He looks like a pirate.
He looks better. He looks more active, less old. Yes. Obviously, time has passed since the Clone Wars.
And then she could do the Ugnaught.
Oh God. Oh man, I might have it. I'd be in the doghouse for that one.
Have you ever seen the Jawa costume riding the Gonk Droid? You guys could do a pair of Jawas riding Gonk Droids. Have you ever seen that costume?
I haven't seen that. That sounds amazing.
And there's the... Okay.
It sounds uncomfortable to walk around in for an entire day, but that sounds amazing.
It can't be harder than a TK,
build
honestly.
Build the Gonk Droids the same way that one...
Like this.
Fire company built them out of trash cans or something. Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
And so you just take a kid-sized Jawa costume and you ride on the...
Wow.
And then someone did a similar one at Celebration last time where it was a Jawa with a backpack piled full of droid junk. And so the person was that and the Jawa was in front.
Oh, okay. So it looked like it was bent over?
Yeah.
Oh, no kidding.
Well, so, but there, and I can help you with that because I can do that. I got...
Oh, yeah. I was going to say, is that also approvable? Can you be approved as the top half of a Jawa?
I don't know if you can. But I mean, that would be a relatively simple. Plus, you could probably, put your drinks and food in there and have a whole snack.
Oh, the possibilities are endless. I love it. I see the way that guy's got it's just like a Rubbermaid bucket rigged so it's strapped around him. Mm-hmm. That's smart.
Yeah.
Huh. Interesting. All right. I will consider that. But yeah, otherwise, listeners, if you have other creative ideas, send them to us.
Post them on the reply of this on Facebook.
Yeah.
Or on SoundCloud. Any of that.
I will most likely see them faster on Facebook.
Yeah, Facebook is probably just easier way.
Yeah.
So besides Celebration, we do have the Bash coming up. We have a bunch of events, so I would recommend everyone hitting the forums. I know we're still looking for Squires, so even if you don't feel like suiting up in the summer, if you see an event that's Squire Light, go to that.
Give them a hand, yeah.
If you see my town halls, try to jump in on a town hall.
For the Garrison members, yes.
Right, Garrison members. If you're not a Garrison member, then just join. And then you can jump in on the town hall.
Join the Garrison,
maybe I'll do a town hall with the cadets. Because they're not technically members yet.
I guess so. Huh?
So I could do a town hall for cadets too, just to see. I don't know. It's just fun hearing what people think about the Legion. The other thing is the Bash. Try to get to the Bash. The Bash is fun. It's in Lancaster, Pennsylvania now. So go online, sign up. Again, talk to your friends that want to join. I have 2 people right now I'm kind of bugging to join. They just mm-hmm. I don't know if they're afraid. I'm just like, just join up, get started. We don't really have a CRL to look at, but we did notice, and maybe we missed it from before, but the CRL for the Rogue One Stormtrooper is up. So I don't know if we should have a vote maybe next time which Stormtrooper they like best. make this a Stormtrooper-centric podcast.
Yeah, I guess so.
But I'm just curious what people think of the different Stormtroopers.
Yeah.
I mean,
what's your favorite and why? Let us know.
Right. Or if you're one of those people that are like, what? There's more than one? Then say that too.
Yeah. Or if you hate them, be gentle. We are Stormtroopers.
Right.
We are TKs. But, tell us why you maybe harbor some sort of dissenting opinion towards Stormtroopers. We'd love to hear it.
Right.
And then shoot you down, but, still.
Right. Nothing is as accurate as a Stormtrooper, according to Obi-Wan Kenobi. Okay, so.
Whenever kids ask, why do you miss all the time? I blame the Force.
Yeah.
They believe it. They're like, wow, okay, that actually makes a lot of sense.
I just tell them we let them escape the Death Star. Or I told the one kid I did a troop Saturday, and he said something like that. I said, how about all those rebels in the beginning of the movie? Cause,
that's true. They didn't really
hate
anything either.
.
That's true. Check the casualty limit. They lost 2 stormtroopers, but all the rebels.
Right,
so.
and they all came in through a little tiny door. So.
Just saying.
Yeah. So. I do think I did see something about. I think Keystone Comic-Con is going to be 3 days coming up in the spring. I know it's September, and that seems like a long way away, but Keystone, I think. They want to make this a big event for us, and it's Reed Pop. Yeah. So it's the same people do Celebration. We're going to do a panel. So I think our PR person, Dave, has the panel stuff up. So if you're interested in doing a panel or being part of a panel, contact them. We have our prop guys are bringing some big props. I know. So members that are looking to buy big props. There's a guy in Empire City Garrison that is selling some big props. I'm not on Empire City Garrison's forum. I signed up to try to get access, and I haven't got approved yet. Mm-hmm. But I'm curious what big props he has for sale.
Yeah, that'd be kind of cool to find out.
And so again, if you're not a member, join up. If you are a member and you want to build some big props, I know there's some people building some things. I think Don is building some blast doors, I think. Don Bickle.
Oh, okay.
He's in the middle around, I guess, Harrisburg area. He does good stuff with the big stuff, big props. I think he was looking at getting a trailer to haul stuff. So just go to the boards. I know they're not as cool as Facebook, but go to the forum boards and try to see what's going on. I can't stress that enough.
Yeah.
I know I sometimes don't get there as much as I should, but check in.
I didn't have Wi-Fi for a while.
I really still alive? And you're still alive?
Yeah, I know.
Well, yeah, I have the Tap-A-Talk or whatever app on my phone, which is not my favorite way to view the forums.
Yeah. So, yeah. Especially if you guys see that there are, events that there are only maybe 2 or 3 people going, check your schedules to see if maybe you can... or for our members anyway, and cadets who are listening, check to see if you could maybe make some time for it. And events don't necessarily always last all day, so... Right.
And call a friend. If there's an event, I know email and stuff is how most people do it, but sometimes, I've gotten phone calls from Marty or a few people, and they're saying, hey, you want to do this or that? It just makes you think sometimes. Because sometimes I'll miss an event. So... summertime is tough to do events, but there's some ball games coming up. Yeah, and I think in August there'll be night out in where you live now. E-Town.
Yeah, E-Town.
And then we get into winter and it picks up again.
Yep.
Anything else we have? We didn't really have a CRO.
Yeah, I know. We were kind of last minute because we both have big adventures or something coming up soon, so it's going to be a little while before our next episode.
We probably mid-July will be fine. I mean, I'll be back. I'm going to make a pilgrimage to Lucasfilm.
Yeah, there you go.
So
you could share your experience and your stories on that episode.
I could. If I make it back alive.
Yeah, if just decide to come back.
Yeah, if I want to
might want to live there forever.
SoCal Garrison. I don't know. I like my seasons. But,
yeah, but not when each season's the absolute extreme.
well, that's
of each
true.
season.
That's true. It's like probably warmer here than it is California right now. But yeah, so if you're working on armor, keep it up. I know I'd like to have at least one armor party here, so fix and repair or.
Oh yeah, everybody can get on fixing and repairing
Yeah,
my armor.
I have some snaps to fix, and I have some other things to repair. So
I gotta fix that codpiece. I'm tired of being the famous stormtrooper with the broken codpiece now in our garrison.
Oh, that's yeah. What is it? Cracked? Or?
It's cracked on either side of it, so it sticks out.
Oh, yeah. Well,
yeah.
You're gonna just fiberglass or.
I was told that there's a type of like plaster that you can mold like putty in your hands and then press into a shape, and then it hardens into like an actual plaster. Or into like some sort of acrylic, or I don't remember what the actual material was, but it was suggested to me that there is a like hand pliable material that I could use to stick as support along the back, since it's in kind of an awkward curved position.
You could probably sludge it too.
And then I could sand down the top and Novus polish whatever I need to, instead of using white medical tape that I've been using so far.
Hey, that white tape saves a lot of it.
Yeah. That's saving one of my shoulder straps is now completely broken, so that white tape's the only thing holding it together.
Yeah, my elastic's almost all shot, so I have to redo all my elastic, just because. So that means I got to put new snaps on it.
Oh, it's great to be a stormtrooper.
Yep, the
cost of the dream, right?
And I think I am going to break down and get fans, because Saturday.
Oh.
There was so much water in my bucket.
Couldn't do it, huh?
And then when I took my helmet off, I was like, because it was only a 2-hour troop.
Oh wow!
And it looked like I fell in the swimming pool.
Gross.
And yeah, so I think I'm gonna have to invest in some fans.
I still gotta go through and like redo the inside. I'll just overhaul the inside of it and do the whole like cheesecloth and Plastidip, the rubber.
Yeah, I didn't do that. I used bed liner.
Mm-hmm.
I taped off all the holes, and then I just sprayed it with truck bed liner.
Oh, okay.
And for 2 reasons. First off, the plastic dip can come off. It doesn't,
Yeah, I've had that problem on other costumes.
And the other thing is, I knew I wanted to eventually get it signed inside, and it signs better.
Oh,
the bed liner. So I got like Weird Al signed it for me.
Huh.
And then
Okay.
But I like the bed liner.
Maybe I'll look into that then. Does that do well with like the added can you still do cheesecloth on that? And like
I didn't even have. I mean,
or did it add enough?
I feel because it's for
a
pickup truck. It's supposed to protect against like tools smashing into metal and stuff. So it added. Now mine's a little thicker probably than a Novos.
Yeah, I guess that's true. You have a different kit.
But it's not as my helmet. I bought that helmet before I even knew the 501st existed. Like it was a kit from who knows where, and it's held up pretty good.
Oh, okay.
But it does make, even besides the whole strength of it, it makes you see better. You can see the light. Once I painted the inside black, I wished I would have done it from the beginning.
I want to get new lenses too. I'm tired of the Novos big long band that goes around the inside. I want to get some Trooper Bay. Apparently the Trooper Bay lenses.
But see, I'm going back to the single.
Oh, you want the
mainly because the little lenses, you can't clean the fog off as easy because the little lenses. Where the big one I can just wipe one, put one big swap, And I think what I'm going to do, I'm not going to mount them with Velcro. I'm probably going to, the screws that are in the ears, I'm just going to run them right on that and screw them in and pop it off. Because also then you can get a little more airflow. I have the little ones I cut. I just traced them and cut them. That's what I have in now. And they've fallen out. They've been shot out by a blaster trooper. The one thing I did buy that was nice is I bought, and maybe I'll put a link on our show notes, I bought a helmet pad kit. You ever see those with the Velcro pads?
Yeah, I've had the military, the circle and a bunch of rectangles.
But it was $11 on Amazon.
Yeah, they're not
expensive. That made a big difference.
Recently, I actually took a couple pads out of my bucket and found it a lot easier for me.
I just need it on top. I don't really care about the side ones. I just need it on top and maybe one in the front. I got like a big forehead. But when kids come up, or especially when guys put their arm around you, when you don't have that pad on the top, it bangs into the top of your head, and over time it just starts wearing on you.
Yeah. I don't like. I need either. Even if I do stick with the one band lens, it's all scratched up from moving around in there. So even if I wipe it off, I still can't see see very well. On top of how little we can see.
Is there screws on the inside of the Novos?
No, it was just Velcroed.
No, but I mean, are there screws from the earpieces?
Yes, but I don't think they stick out. They don't stick out into the actual cavity.
Because I wonder if you got a longer welder's one and just fastened it different.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. It's been better since I had 2 giant pads right on each of my ears, and that was... awful. I got rid of those, and I've been having such an easier time now. So the lens isn't as bad. It doesn't move around as much every time I shake my head.
That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I think his are bubble lenses. I think Radu makes a set of lenses. But I think his are bubble, like hero lenses. You don't want those.
No, I'm not a fan of the bubble. Even if I wanted to be a hero, be a hero.
Yeah. All right.
Wow, we're running out of material, guys.
Yeah, sorry.
We're getting boring. It's getting late.
But so we talked about Han Solo, celebration, upcoming events, no CRL. They needed to tell you what costume you and your girlfriend need to do for celebration.
Yes, absolutely.
Something funny.
Creative, that would stand out, but wouldn't be a huge to do. It's not a.
You got a year.
A terrible. Well, also financial burden.
Well,
poor guy.
All right.
So I guess
or you send your scraps of costumes, and you
also true. We'll just stick a dumpster out in front of my apartment, and you can
like one of those things they collect shoes for children.
The Salvation Army bins or whatever.
For Colin. Costumes for Colin.
Yeah, costumes for Colin. Wow, that is one of the most selfish charities I've ever heard of.
Well, all 100% of the proceeds go exactly what we say they're going.
That's true. No lies.
So
like and follow us on Facebook and whatever other social media is. Do we still only have Facebook, SoundCloud, and Google Play?
Do we have a Twitter account?
We don't have a Twitter.
So maybe we'll start a Twitter.
Maybe. I don't know. I don't even have my own Twitter account.
Okay.
I wouldn't.
Give you something to do.
We might not be able to keep.
We have a website. We
do have a website.
We haven't put anything on there for a while, but
CreatorCast.com.
Yeah, I think it is
as simple as that.
Yeah, and it's Colin at CreatorCast.com and Mike at CreatorCast.com.
Yep. If you want to email us with anything.
And if you want to contribute, if you want to, send us a audio file that if you're tired of hearing us talk and you want to rant about something, we'll stick it on there.
Yeah. Just, shout out.
Right. And then hopefully maybe we can do a remote show from somewhere at some point in time.
Absolutely. Get everybody in.
Maybe one from the Bash.
At Bash.
At Bash. Maybe we'll do something at the Bash.
At Tellus next door to Bash while everybody's drinking beer.
Right. That's when we get... that's what you go to the Bash. Maybe you can win your next costume.
Yeah, right.
You could do Zeb. And she could do Hera. Does she like face paint?
Oh, wouldn't it make more sense to just do then Kanan and Hera?
Well, yeah, Kanan and Hera. Any of them. I'm only saying it for a selfish reason.
Oh, because
then Zoe has Sabine. So if you do Kanan and Hera, we have Sabine. We can just grab someone as Ezra.
Yeah, anybody can be Ezra.
Yeah. There's an Ezra in Western Pennsylvania.
Oh, yeah.
It's a girl, but she does a good Ezra. So
yeah, good Ezra is a good Ezra.
So, and some sewing skills. That's all you need really for Hera, and some green paint. There's a Chloe down in Maryland sells Laku.
Oh, no kidding.
That would be your probably biggest expense.
Yeah, you're probably right.
But I don't think they're crazy.
Or a Kanan lightsaber.
3D printed.
Well, all right.
You could do just get a. Dan is he's a rep for Hero Hair, so you could probably get a Kanan wig.
Or I'll do shaved Kanan.
Oh yeah,
short hair chopped Kanan. That means I'd have to get rid of the beard though. I swore I'd never get rid of the beard though. Ah, crap.
Well, then don't just... All you do is get a clip-on ponytail.
Clip-on ponytail. I love it. Maybe.
Kanan the Bounty Hunter, just like Dog the Bounty Hunter, but have Kanan-esque clothes.
Oh, good Lord. The possibilities are endless.
Or you could do young Kanan, Caleb Dune.
Oh, yeah.
And she could do... I forget his... Ababalaba or whatever the Jedi is. I forget the name.
I don't remember his name.
But it's something
either.
like... No, it's a woman. It's
her name.
his...
Oh, that's right. His master was a...
Yeah.
Been a while. I haven't followed the Kanan story too closely.
Yeah.
It's on my list. I gotta go back through the Darth Vader Marvel comics next. I'll tell you though, one of my new favorite characters lately is Benthic. Remember him from Rogue One? Weird skinhead but robot Saul's like second hand.
Oh yeah. Wait a minute.
Two tubes.
Okay.
But his actual name is Benthic.
Yeah.
Which is weird because in our CRL, he actually has two different CRLs. One as Benthic and one as Two Tubes.
Aren't they brothers? Aren't they brothers though?
Maybe, but every instance that I've seen of him is Benthic. But also, the fun part is he was in Solo.
Yeah, I saw that. That was really
That
cool.
made me really happy because that like solidified him as one of my new favorite characters in Star Wars. Oh yeah, not make Kanan of Rebels cut his hair. Wow, 49 people signed. You were close.
Yeah.
But yeah, Benthic's seen some stuff, man. He's been around. He like really has not had an easy life.
You do.
I love that guy. Like he's really and he's like in the comics too now. So he's like seen more stuff than just the two movies he's been in.
You could do those two, but like the movie Twins. with the suits.
Oh my god. Oh my gosh, that would be perfect. Oh, or them as the two guys from Pulp Fiction.
There you go.
Oh man.
You could carry a Royale with cheese with you.
Oh man, that would be cool. I would love that. Sorry everybody, we got the best one. If you can beat Pulp Fiction Benthic's with Royale with cheese, Benthic and Two Tubes.
With Bantha cheese.
Bantha cheese, yes.
Blue cheese. I guess it would be blue cheese.
It would just be blue cheese. What would Royale be? Because they still Imperial with blue cheese.
Yeah, with blue Bantha cheese.
It just sounds like a chicken nugget dip thing.
Yeah, it does. So anyway, if you have anything, contact us.
We digress.
And thank you for listening to episode 7.
Officially episode 7.
Officially. May the Force be with you.
May the Force be with you.